Welcome to this week's edition of Social Selling Training for NetSuite. Today we're going to discuss how you can begin to prioritize your target account list for 2017. So it's the beginning of the year, everyone's putting together their TAL, and what I see reps doing is they'll typically go into Hoover's or some other firmographic data site, and they'll type in all the criteria for their entire territory. So let's say I've got Massachusetts, I've got the software vertical, these are all my industry codes, and this is the employee band of size that I can sell into. Hoover's will then spit out 2,000 companies that I can sell to. So that encompasses the entire list of companies that I can sell to in my territory. However, if I only need to sell to a dozen or 15 logos to hit my number, how do I begin to prioritize 2,000 accounts to the 100 or so companies that I realistically should start conversations with to then close the number of logos I need to hit my number? Let's start within Sales Navigator to make a much smaller list of companies that then we can sell to. So if we go into Lead Builder, we're going to build a similar baseline search. So we still start with geography, and we'll put in our state, and we'll put in our company size. So let's say we sell to under 500 employees. But now instead of choosing industry here, I could choose computer software, or I could choose gaming, or I could choose something else, computer hardware. And maybe these industries within how LinkedIn classifies their accounts doesn't always map with how we classify them per our ROE. Let's try something else like a keyword here. So if I try the word SaaS as a keyword within Massachusetts, under 500, what I find are 14,000 people who live in Massachusetts, who work at companies under 500 employees, who have the word SaaS somewhere in their company profile. Now this is not particularly helpful to me because they might work for a company that's headquartered in San Francisco or in New York, but they happen to live in Boston. So that's not what I want. But under accounts, LinkedIn Sales Navigator will put together a list of companies that are headquartered in Massachusetts within my employee size band and have the word SaaS in their company description. So now this is particularly valuable to me. So here I can see a list of all the SaaS companies. I've got 254, which is a much smaller list than 2,000 that I can really begin to focus on. If I wanted to narrow this even further, let's say I want to sell to companies that I think are going to be ready to talk about ERP. I can even do something like this, where I choose the department size will be, I want to make sure they have more than one finance person. So they have at least 2 finance people in their company. That, to me, could signal that they're a much better candidate to talk about ERP software. So now I've narrowed my list to 23 companies that are based in Massachusetts in my employee size band that have the word SaaS somewhere in their profile, that have more than 2 people in their finance department. So now these 23 companies would probably be the first ones that I want to work through in my list to make sure they're not already customers or there's no channel or partner conflict within the NetSuite CRM, and just to validate that the NACE code does map to my vertical, or to escalate to the ROE desk if I think that it should be made a case for software. And now I've got a really great list of companies I can start to sell to. You can do a number of keywords. You can do SaaS and security. Let's say if you wanted to build a micro vertical around security or education tech or fintech or whatever your micro vertical is. And now we can begin to build even more specific lists that map into our exact micro vertical. So this has been a couple quick tips for you to begin to build out and prioritize what might start as an overwhelming list of companies for you to prospect into to a very curated and specific list that you can target aggressively for your target account list. For a list of other potential keywords based on your vertical, you can also click the link here and it will take you to a list of keywords that might support searches for your vertical. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.